You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
We're stood now in the northeastern part of St Paul's churchyard, beneath the tower and cathedral. In medieval times, the eastern half of the churchyard had been under the control not of the church, but of the Corporation of London. For centuries, this was a huge open area where hundreds of people could gather, when the churchyard was far larger than it is today. This was the site of London's General Assembly, known as the Folkmoot, meaning, literally, the meeting of the people. As well as its size, it's possible this location was chosen for its centrality within the city, as it's at the hub of many important roads. It's also likely the site was chosen for its proximity to the cathedral itself, and the Folkmoot may even have been as old as St Paul's. Some have even claimed it was older. In the legends about the origins of London, citizens associated the Folkmoot with the mythical King Arthur. Certainly, the moot can trace its history until at least the 10th century, when the Saxons of London assembled for judicial purposes. It's said that the Archbishop of Canterbury and King Henry attended the Folkmoot in 1259, and Londoners came to swear their allegiance to the king and to his heirs. Although it must be said they did so with a royal army holding the city gates, which must have made swearing allegiance much easier. The people of London also gathered at the moot later on to swear allegiance to Henry's opponent, Simon de Montfort, showing both the importance of the site as well as the fickleness of Londoners. By the Middle Ages then, the Folkmoot had become established as having judicial and legislative functions. Being an assembly of the people, it was a source of authority for local government and a place where the community collectively or members individually could have their voices heard. These meetings, however, held the potential to become an unruly crowd. Discussion was probably limited to those who could shout the loudest and convince their fellows to listen. Not much different from our modern forms of democracy, by the sounds of it. As we have seen with King Henry and Simon de Montfort, the moot was also open to manipulation, and increasingly the real mechanisms of London government came to focus on the husting, which could discuss legal disputes more frequently, privately, and indoors, reducing the possibility of a crowd. Before the 13th century, citizens would assemble when summoned by a bell in the square tower. The extension of the cathedral, however, led to the destruction of the old parish church of St Faith's to its east, and the cathedral also desired the precinct to be extended into the territory of the corporation. By the early 14th century, the Folkmoot and bell tower had been enclosed, leading to complaints from the mayor and aldermen. Finally, a compromise was reached, whereby the cathedral acknowledged the city's ownership of the Folkmoot. This area, in turn, became the heart of the English book trade, with many booksellers setting up shop nearby. The site continued in importance for the collective London community through Paul's Cross, which through the 15th, 16th and 17th century was a key place for the delivery of sermons, from an open-air pulpit to large crowds. The countless rabbles of medieval Londoners who stood here long ago still makes you stop and think, however.